Our next story focuses on the new technology that can extract uranium from seawater, which could be used for nuclear energy. That's right. That's what reporter Connie Komm found. So she sat down with electrical engineer Mark Fairchild to get answers, and she got some reactions from people in Wildwood. Let's take a look.
Well, the title of the article is Uranium Seawater Extraction Makes Nuclear Power Completely Renewable. And what it means is that up until now, the argument could be made that there is a limited amount of uranium that is available on the face of the planet for mankind's use. And that therefore nuclear power, even though maybe it would give us power for the next several thousand years, still inherently it's limited. This new technology now means that that is no longer the case. Because in fact uranium is not only present in seawater, but it's a continually self-renewing process that puts the uranium into the seawater.
Break this down in terms that the average American could understand.
I think an important thing to do is to look at the question historically. In the United States, up until about 1840 or so, wood was the most important source of energy for light and for heat, and for doing work of various kinds. Coal began to come in this next period as a much more energy-dense source. Which meant that you didn't have to have as much transportation costs. You know, think about giant amounts of logs floating down streams and huge wagons loaded with big logs and so forth. Coal was much more energy dense. And that was the case until maybe the 1920s or so, when oil began to become much more prevalent, because oil again was much more energy dense than coal, maybe twice as energy dense as coal. And this then persisted until the 1950s, when nuclear power came in. Nuclear power is actually 1,000,000 times more energy dense than oil or natural gas.
What would you say would be the benefit of nuclear?
The major advantage to nuclear power is the fact that it is so efficient that it means inexpensive energy. Whereas in the case of solar, if we do some simple calculations, if we were to supply the United States 100% by solar power, your energy bill would be about 18 times higher than it is right now. If you're paying $100 a month, how'd you like to pay $1,800 a month for electricity?
Anything that lowers your bill, I'm for.
In my opinion, I don't think we should do that. I think we should run more on air, because that's probably one of the main things that we have. We have a lot of those windmills that we could possibly run the wind from to make more energy out of that, I think.
Wind is even worse. Wind is more like 29 times more expensive than what we're currently experiencing. Nuclear power, on the other hand, is the most inexpensive, most efficient. And so, in fact, if it were not for a political kind of campaign that's been waged to scare people about nuclear power, in fact, we could have far lower costs per month for the average person.
I think, again, it's too risky. There's too many people that utilize the oceans, and we don't know what long-term damage can result from that kind of mining.
Uranium is probably one of the most toxic chemicals out there, so if you expose that to a lot of people, it's going to cause radiation and a bunch of other stuff, which is going to harm other people and harm this environment that we have.
What would you say to people who criticize nuclear power?
I would say actually most environmentalists today advocate nuclear power because it is such a clean source of energy. no carbon dioxide. It's simply the cleanest form of energy we have. In terms of safety, the fact is it's the safest form of energy that we have, notwithstanding what people might have heard in the media. There have been no deaths actually caused from operating nuclear power plants over a 60-year period in the United States. That can certainly not be true, said of coal or oil or even solar power and wind power. Many people have died putting solar panels on their roofs and putting up wind towers.
Your thoughts and insights on this new technology to extract uranium from seawater is fascinating, and we really appreciate your time and your thoughts on this matter. Thank you so much.